Hey guys, it's Erin here, and we are back for the September issue of Mixed Media Menagerie. As you know, this is a collaboration between Laura, Nicole, and myself. And this month we are joined by the lovely Tracy, whom I will not even attempt to say her last name because I'm sure I will butcher it, but I will leave all of her links down in the description box below, so be sure to check her out over on Instagram, and then also check out her, Nicole, and Laura's videos for this month to see how they interpreted this month's prompts. And speaking of prompts, let's jump into those. For September, we're going to be using masking tape, tags, and leaves, which is always a wonderful fall theme. I'm itching for fall to come to Texas. We're still in the 90s and it's hot, but it'll get here eventually. So hi, there's some spirit fingers. I've got my menagerie bin, and yeah, let's jump into this and see what we've got. I've got my journal here. I'm going to use some graphite paper for some transfer, because that's what we do. And then we also have my masking tape here off to the side, and we've got this lovely bundle of goodies. These are from the House of Books. It's a fabulous little bundle of ephemera bits, and let me just show you some of this stuff. I will put the link down in the description box below. Be sure to check them out for all your ephemeral needs. Ooh, I kind of love that word. So we've got some cool book papers, some neat black and white photos. Here's some more book papers. Yeah, ooh, this is really cool. I like those birds, a beautiful little scenery. So lots of really cool bits in this package. Oh, that one's slipping there. Ooh, even some fabric bits for fall, a card. It reminds me of my dad. He always painted like those wood ducks. Anyways, so yeah, so let's go ahead and jump into what we're going to do today. All right, now that we've got supplies all figured out, let's go ahead and open up my journal here. That was last month's spread, and I accidentally stapled an extra page together, and I don't want to mess with the staples, so we're going to skip another page. But guess what? It's my journal, and I can do it however I want. I can come back to that later on or just skip it all together. It's all good to me. So I quickly sketched a gal that I wanted to use for this month's spread, but of course, before we start, let's grab that masking tape and tape up the edges. All right, and now that that's done, I'm going to grab my graphite paper here, and I'm going to line it up with the bottom of the masking tape so I can kind of make sure I've got my gal where I want her to transfer her over. And then we'll just take a pencil here, and I will speed this up a little bit, and we're just going to sketch her on there. I kept her very, very basic. I didn't go in with too much. I thought just doing some easy line work this month would be good. It's been a very busy month. I know it's just beginning, but the kids are back to school. 2 of my sons are homeschooling, so I have been a busy, busy mama. So I'm just going to go in here and kind of erase bits where I pressed a little too hard onto the graphite transfer paper and sort of transferred some extra stuff there. So I'm just sort of erasing those lines. And now we have some Schwarz black, which is a permanent black ink from Faber Castell. I have this really cool calligraphy holder and this nib, which I love, the Kakimori, and I will put the link where you can buy that down in the description box below. It's this really neat cylinder-like nib. It holds a ton of ink, and the really cool thing about it is depending on the angle that you use the nib, you can create thicker or thinner lines. So I'm just going to go ahead and trace over the already traced girl into my book, and then we'll add a couple detail lines and just, you know, keep it kind of sketchy and fun. All right, so now that we have this really loose, sketchy, kind of comic style gal in my journal, we're going to move on to the next step. I'm going to grab those book pages here, and I thought I would go ahead and draw like some fall leaves on there. They're on it's in pencil, so you can't see it really well. But I'm going to grab a bunch of my Lindy's ink sprays. I love these. They have shimmer in them. I love some shimmer, but I'm going to grab some fall kind of leaf colors, and then we're going to go ahead and just spray the paper here and give it a little bit of color. So some of them are kind of dried out. It's been a while. So I'm just going to splat some colors on, smush it together, and then we'll go ahead and cut out those leaves in order to put them onto our journal page. Now that they're all cut out, I'm going to kind of lay them out, sort of get an idea of where I want to put them. I don't want to futz with it too much because that can take a lot of time. And as I stated, I don't have as much time to be in the studio as I would like right now. So I'm just going to throw these on, not overthink it, grab my glue stick, and then go ahead and glue them all down to the page. So off camera, I found a quote that I really liked, and I typed it up with a fun font and then printed it out, and I went ahead and used that graphite paper again and transferred it into my journal. I'm also adding a couple extra leaves here. I love the calligraphy look, but I just don't have the time to learn how to do it, and I think a great way to practice is actually copying. So I just, getting the feel of how the pen moves along the paper and then how, different strokes are bigger and fatter. But regardless, now I have this beautifully aligned sentiment, and I'm just going to go ahead and trace over it with the ink and just kind of darken up some of those lines. So that is what I'm doing here. We're going to keep it super easy, simple, and I'm actually loving the white space that I'm leaving this month. So that's all that I'm doing here, is just getting that written in, and I'm going to go over it just, I think towards the end I kind of started to run out of ink and it wasn't as dark, so I'm just kind of going over the top of that one more time to really deepen that black. And then I'm going to lift up the edges, go ahead and give it a good dry, lift up the edges of those leaves because I'm going to pull off the tape, but I'm also going to take my eraser again, this is just a plain white eraser, and erase some of the lines where that graphite was showing. So some of it'll still stay there, and that's okay. It kind of almost gives it like a cast shadow, which is beautiful. But yeah, I'm just going to go around the edges and just, kind of erase any marks that are showing so we can keep that a really nice bright background. And while we're doing that, do not forget to use the tag along this month, MMM September 22, so that here on YouTube and over on Instagram, we can see all of your amazing artwork for the month, and then do our little tag along at the end of the month and see everyone's videos or artwork and go ahead and comment on those. So play along with us. And here is the finished piece. So while I did cheat and use the masking tape around the outside edges, I'm still counting it. And if you noticed, I forgot the tag too. But you know what? Sometimes I'm going with where, just where I feel creative. And if I leave something out, it's okay. It's my journal. I'm allowed to do that. So loving how the leaves turned out, those fall colors with the book print on the background. It like makes them the star of the show here. I love that the girl, she's blowing them away. I'm excited for autumn. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today for this super quick and easy video. Don't forget to check out the girls' videos. And until next time, happy creating.